let's see what Woody could have done differently using the 4 R's. All right, so we've got Woody's on well-meaning way. He makes a genuine mistake with a person of color by non-consentingly touching her hair. Woody gets called out pretty publicly and informed that what he did or said was inappropriate. Woody actually feels really bad, and embarrassed. Now at this point, we realize Woody has recognized his mistake. He's on that feelings freeway and he's like, wait a minute, I made a big mistake, and I think I offended someone without really meaning to. Well, so he slides down the feelings freeway, he recognizes his actions, and then Woody takes some time, right? Sitting down there in shame falls, takes some time and reflects on how might Christy be feeling, you know? Okay, so he's thinking, wow, Christy might have been feeling like, oh, animal in a cage. Like, is she my pet? She's not my pet. Why did I do that? So now Woody's thinking. Now, Woody's got the, insight going, is reflecting, is finding where there are nuances and areas for Woody to learn. And Woody is like, give me my iPad. I'm about to do some Googling because I need to do some research. Woody's on Amazon. Woody's getting books. Woody even Googled, what does black hair feel like? Because basically that was what he wanted to know. Woody's feeling empowered because he's learning things. Oh, is that what it feels like? And is that why Christy might have felt that way? Finally, Woody's like, despite his best intentions, he didn't do something that was okay. He didn't do something that honored Christy. Woody takes responsibility, right? He reaches out to Christy to repair the damage. He wants to make a respectful apology. He wants Christy to know that he didn't mean it, and he's learned so much. But Christy's already gone to Delusional Gardens and is not really ready to receive Woody's response. So instead, Woody encourages all of the folks who are interviewing for the toy box to be more culturally sensitive and offers to share his experience so that no one else who comes to interview for the toy box will have that same experience that Christy did. Maybe one day Woody will meet Christy and he'll be able to give that apology. But what Woody's done is set a precedent so that it doesn't happen again. And boy, that is lasting. That is lasting. We gotta turn our shame into self-discovery. We are wondrous creatures, full of so much internal landscape. The thing about cultural allyship is that it is emotional. There is nothing about relating to people that isn't. So when you are gearing up to engage in this work, you have to be prepared to manage your own emotions and discomfort. You want to take that time for reflection, to be strong in your values and your commitments. You don't want to put yourself at risk in your learning because you're too eager. Let's just be gentle. Understand your emotions, be able to manage them. Because cultural allyship isn't about you, right? It's about everyone else that you're wanting to create a sense of welcome to. You know, culturally specific communities are often in active healing, right? In active states of transformation. It's not the responsibility of a culturally specific community to make you feel comfy, you know, or acknowledged or congratulated. It's nice. It's always so nice. But when you're doing cultural allyship work, You have to have your skin in the game. These are your values. These are your goals, so that you don't need the acknowledgement of a community in transition to give you that. So if you also, just like little tips here, if you have a general cultural question, go ahead and Google it first. Just go ahead and Google it. You know, I Google a lot of things. I'm not going to share my last Google search, but it is my first step. It's also important to understand that access to culturally specific communities is a privilege, right? It is a benefit that not everyone receives. So respecting cultural space and boundaries is really important. So being able to go in with a open and observant mind, so that you can really pay attention to what the room is telling you. Read the room. And then hang back and listen, right? Look for opportunities to support where you can, but confirm that your help is wanted before rushing in to give. So much about this work that we're doing is about relating to each other. Being able to even know, to be able to be present, those are the first steps. We don't have to run to action, because witnessing is an action. All right, so some other tips around cultural allyship. There's no checkbox here. Cultural allyship is a forever process. You listen, you learn, you build relationships, you build trust, and you do it consistently, and you allow yourself to be accountable to it, right? Also, cultural allyship is a responsibility. So you're going to mess up, right? But make it easy on yourself. Take responsibility for the mistakes and learn from them, right? Being called out is literally one of the most unpleasant things. But what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, okay? And allyship understands that sometimes you will, because it is not your natural place, it is not something where you have natural understanding, that you'll mess up. And that someone may receive you outside of the way you were intending to be received. So you understand that. You move past it, and you use your guilt to create reparative action within yourself, right? And finally, cultural allyship is not an identity, right? When someone says, I'm an ally, and we all make mistakes, because honey, I make it all the time, and everyone loves to tell me, allyship is not an identity. It's not. But you know what is an identity characteristic? Someone who works in allyship. And that is who I am. I am someone with a strong intention to work in allyship. So when you do get that title, when someone does recognize your efforts and calls you an ally, you can really hold on to that. It doesn't mean that you get to call yourself an ally in perpetuity forever, but boy, it gives you quite the charge when someone deems you as worthy enough to bestow that title on you. And then I think finally, action, right? To be an ally, to act in allyship, it requires actions, right? It must be paired with that engaged learning, and then the behavior and actions. What are you going to do? What small thing can you do? Everyone really loves to go for these big things, but we are a nation of small things, individuals. We are tiny specks on a small planet in a great universe. So we have to think in a different way. We have to think about the micro actions that we can take towards a more equitable and beautiful community.